Hey, my name is Carlos. I used to make YouTube videos on this channel, and I wanted to originally make these videos about like philosophy and just kind of my outlook on the world, right? I've made a couple of videos ever since then, but I haven't uploaded them because I was not happy with how they ended up. Um, they kind of just I was just not happy with the product because in all of them I was trying to share a couple words of wisdom, right? And now that I'm older, so the only video I have on here right now is called Snail Shell. I look a lot different, as you can see. I've changed a lot. And the reason behind that change is not only did I grow up, right? I'm still young. Um, but I had something major happen to me. I had an encounter with Jesus Christ. That, in it itself, is probably going to make a lot of people click off the video, or I don't know. I hate pointing out obvious things, right? But that's kind of how my mind works. I guess that's kind of how our mind works. But so the reason behind this video is I realized as I'm making these videos, right, I'm always trying to teach something. I always think I have something really smart and intelligent to say that can potentially help somebody who's going through, you know, whatever they may be going through. They may not even be going through anything at the moment, right? But, you know, just having some thought, just having some thoughtfulness might help. But that's until I realized, it's not like I realized this, but I've always, in order for me to talk about something confidently, I need to know a lot more than what I do now. And I can't give advice. I can't give this sort of perspective. I mean, I can, but it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do any good. And from that, I wanted to make a different type of YouTube video, not as somebody who has something really intelligent and introspective to say, but as someone who is a student. And that's what I'm gonna make videos on, being a student and sharing what I learned as a student. I'm 23. I've been with the Lord for about a year now, a little bit over a year. I grew up in religion. I used to think I was saved. That was until I departed from the faith and I stopped believing in God. And I decided to do things my own way, and it brought me back to Him. So whether I was saved on, May 4th of 2022 or 2023, I should say, actually, my bad, 2023. Whether I was saved, so I've been with the Lord for about 2 years now. Whether I've been saved in May 4th, 2023, or I was saved all along, growing up in the church and confessing my love for Christ and saying that I'm a Christian, I really don't know, and I don't think it matters all that much at this point. What truly matters to me right now is I've learned a lot throughout these years. And the main thing I've learned is that I know next to nothing. I've been kind of just walking aimlessly. I have a goal, but, even making a daily schedule, a daily routine, I always end up not following it. I always end up kind of just straying away and doing my own thing and just, because things get in the way. I get frustrated. I get upset. I have a headache right now, like right here. And it just makes things insufferable. And it doesn't, it bothers me. And I start going back to my old ways, to what I already know how to do effortlessly, which is to waste time on my phone. But I don't think this is a waste of time. Not only reading the word, but making these type of videos, because this is truly what I'm passionate about, which is making content for people to consume. And I think one of the main reasons that is because I don't have a lot of friends, or at least friends that I feel comfortable reaching out to at all times. I always see groups of people, but I never see people by themselves. It's probably because they're doing the same thing I'm doing. They're at their house or wherever they may be. It's not like people by themselves don't go outside, right? It's just, whenever you get older, whenever I got older, I'm not going to say whenever you get older, because I'd be assuming that you're in the same position that I am. But whenever I got older, I kind of just strayed away from everybody. And I realized that no one is going to pay my bills. It's not like I didn't know that already, but once you own your own place and you're at the mercy of however much you're making at work. And when you're in a job like my job, I'm a sales consultant. I sell cars for Chevrolet. Whenever you're in a job like this, you're at the mercy of your abilities to sell a car. And being a salesperson is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. You have to take a lot of disrespect, and I'm not acting like a victim because I chose this career path, right? I chose to try it out, and now I'm afraid, like, what if I get fired? What if I just don't sell enough cars? All these what ifs, right? But I know Psalms 20, I believe it's Psalms 20. Let me make sure. He will provide all needs. Well, he doesn't actually say that. I'll read what it says. This is in a Legacy Standard Bible. My older brother actually got this for me. So it's become one of my favorite translations just because it reminds me of him. And of course, so it's May he send you help from the sanctuary and uphold you from Zion. May he remember all your meal offerings and find your burnt offering acceptable. May he grant you your heart's desire and fulfill all your counsel. Right? So a lot of the times whenever we're reading Psalms, we're reading the prayers and songs of someone, right? Whether that be King David, King Solomon, and a few other people. I think even Moses had a couple of them here. And they're unique because they're speaking from a point of experience. We forget that these are people who had real lives. They may have been under different circumstances, right? Like, they didn't have to deal with like the IRS or selling cars or something, but they were salesmen back then too, They were salespersons, they were farmers, there were all kinds of people back then, which is why when Jesus says parables, he always compares them with things at their time. So I'd imagine if Jesus was here, he'd compare things from, stuff at our time. But I don't have the wisdom that Jesus has because I'm not Jesus. So sometimes I find myself kind of lost, right? So I kind of just wanted to record this to show a sort of like a walk along, like a process of almost like, I don't know if y'all read that book, John Bunyan's, I think that's his name, A Pilgrim's Process, I believe it's called, where he writes his experience as a Christian, finding God, learning that he is a sinful person. And that's been my experience as well, When I became a Christian, I accepted Christ as my Savior, but I did not understand the fact. I knew I was a sinner, but I did not know to what extent. I did not know how sinful I was. I'm a very sinful person, and every day I do things like I covet, I lie to myself, and I just I curse. I don't curse out loud. I've actually been pretty good at doing that. Cursing has actually been one of the easiest things to overcome for me. I know a lot of people struggle with that a lot because they don't see as big of an importance, but it's written, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, right? So I've always wanted to be a teacher. I really like teaching. I always like teaching somebody something new. I like putting people onto something like, have you tried looking at it this way? Have you tried doing that way? Why do I like that? I don't know. I could go in depth on that. But nevertheless, yeah, I want to be a student of the faith. And I would say that I'm a student of the faith. And that is my season right now, right? So I don't have any smart, wise advice to give today. All I have is myself. You know, I moved into my first apartment. I live by myself now. I'm no longer in my parents' house. I have a car. I have a good paying job. I have a loving family, you know, my mom, my dad. I'm not married. But, you know, eventually something will happen. I don't know. But, you know, I kind of I hate showing this type of vulnerability because it's kind of embarrassing to just come out and talk about your problems on the internet, right? But that's kind of what everyone does. But not a lot of people do it in video form. And I don't imagine a lot of success coming from that. But, you know, what I have in mind is recording this journey and seeing myself grow along the way. But with the purpose of seeing myself grow along the way, right? And kind of just document what I'm trying, what I'm doing. And through that, I can show you what works and what doesn't. So let's start it by doing this. This was actually the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video was this. Lord have mercy on me. That's disgusting. The purpose of this video was this. I want to fast, and I suck at fasting. I'm not good, and I have this addiction, right? So I'll be pretty open. Let me come clean. I've been having a lot of victories on some addictions that I used to have a lot of problems with, and I still do. I'm still fighting those battles. I'm just, you know, I'm just winning them right now, right? We're winning. And, you know, I don't want to go in depth with what those battles are, but a good example is, I keep thinking my dog is there, but it's just my clothing. One of those battles was, of course, cussing, right? I did struggle a little bit on that. But my battle right now is with vaping. I've been vaping since I was 15 years old. I'm 23 now, so it's been 8 years, almost a decade of vaping. That's embarrassing. I'll tell you what, if you are just starting to vape, if you are thinking about vaping, or if you know somebody who just started vaping or has been vaping for not too long, send them this video, tell them to skip to this, and I'm gonna tell you what I've gotten, what I've gained, right? First of all, I've lost a lot of money. I've probably spent almost $1,000, if not more, on vaping in all that time, and probably more. But if I were to be like, hey, you want to vape? It's $1,000. You wouldn't buy it, right? You wouldn't buy it because that's a bad investment. And then the side effects are even crazier. That's just talking about the money aspect, right? Here's the other aspect. It damages your teeth. It damages your mouth. It can give you all kinds of, you don't know what chemicals you're putting inside your body. When people tell me that, I'm like, yes, I know. And here is the worst part. It is the hardest thing that I've ever had to quit in my life. To the point where I'm so desperate that I want to make a video so that I can be held accountable for this crap. And I've tried a lot of methods. I hate the gum. I haven't tried the sin thing, but I really don't think that's a problem. Because even when I'm having nicotine, I want to smoke because I like smoking. I like smoking I started smoking because I thought I looked cool. That's why I started smoking. Talk about a really stupid thing, right? And people say this should lower the voting age. Absolutely not. I think they should raise it, you know? So, all that to say is, I want to try every single method, and I'm gonna document here. So a lot of people are like, I'm gonna start smoking cigarettes and see if I can stop, right? Well, I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I've tried saying I'm not addicted. I've tried, speaking it into existence. I've prayed about it countless of times, but, doesn't mean I should stop praying about it. Doesn't mean I should stop reading my word. It doesn't mean I should stop trying to stop. It doesn't mean I should stop. So, I don't know when's the last time I went 24 hours. Actually, it was pretty recent. But, the relapse was really, really crazy. But with this stressful job and with my spiritual life and with battling other sins and other addictions and other strongholds and staying consistent and truly leaning on God, right? Not just depending on God to magically make it go away, right? But to lean on God and His promises and read His word and pray and pray and pray and pray and pray. Because when you fast, you're supposed to be praying a lot. So tomorrow I'm gonna be at work 9 to 9, 12 hours of straight suffering because I start to get really irritated. My head starts to hurt, all this crap starts to happen when I go without my vape. I instinctively look in my pockets and then I start thinking, I'm just gonna go buy it because it'll make me feel better. But all it does is it makes the cravings go away. Like for example, right now, it's been 16 minutes and about 10 minutes of this, I've been wanting to vape. So that's a really bad state to be in. And if I can record these videos and if anybody can see this, or if it's just me looking over them, which I really wouldn't want, right? I want people to see this. If I can look at this a month from now, and I can tell you guys and tell myself, we did it. I quit vaping. That'd be a pretty massive W. W's in the shack. You know how they say these days. I'm a very, I hate saying this. I hate talking about myself, but I like it. I like it a lot, because I don't know. I like when people talk to me and know about me. But at the same time, that egotistical, I have a lot of stuff going on in my head at once, just to be honest. But yeah, so here's the plan. I'm gonna put my reading of the book of Corinthians. I'm almost done. I'm at chapter 14 right now. I'm gonna put that on a pause. Or you know what? I'm gonna finish that book. But afterwards, there's a very specific book that I'm gonna read, and I'll tell you why this is gonna be my ammunition against the temptations. It's the little book of 1 John. This book right here. Right? The first letter of John. Why am I reading 1 John? Well, this very wise man told me that this book is about how not to sin. And I really need that book. If there is a book about how not to sin, I definitely need to read that, especially while going through this. So, excuse me. That's my plan. I'm gonna read and meditate on this book throughout tomorrow. And then, not that day, but the next day, unless it gets really hard, which maybe I will. But the next day, I'm gonna record what happens. I'm gonna eat, of course, the next day, but 24 hours from 12 o'clock tonight to 12 o'clock the next night, I'm gonna be doing a water fast. And I know you're not supposed to kind of, announce it or something, right? So that kind of makes this a little conflicting, but I want to record it to show that that prayer really works. and fasting works too, that God is real. I've tried countless of things of this world, and I've tried this before too, but I've never actually completed the fast because I give up. So, be my witness and see how I conquer this mountain. I have a vape. I don't know if I can show it, but I have a vape. I'm gonna leave it right here, right behind there. I'm gonna leave it there at 12 o'clock. And, I'll pass by it or whatever, but, or I'll leave it somewhere hidden, I don't know. But if I were to ask you, if you were to be at my house right now, if I were to ask you, hey, hide this vape for me, please. And I come back from work after getting yelled at, after not selling anything. And all I could ever desire is a little hit from the Nick. If I searched for God that hard, if I searched for God that hard, just like the vape, I'd probably find it and actually have pleasure in Him instead of this chemical. So that's that. I'm gonna upload this. If this doesn't work, then I guess I shouldn't have recorded it. I don't know. But I don't want to think about this not working. I want to have faith that the Lord, I want to trust in God. I trust in God. And I'm trusting that this is going to be the way that I kill this sin and this addiction. And after those 24 hours, after I make the video of me telling you that I went 24 hours without it, I'll decide on camera if I'm going to hit it or not. And if I'm going to hit it, I'll hit it on camera, so that I get to look at myself and be like, wow, let's see if you have the guts to do that. Well, anyways, I know that's a very personal video. This is a very personal video. I don't know if I should upload this actually. But yeah, that's it. If you want a car, come by for me. I could really use some sales right now. You can just find me on the west side of Houston, Mackay Chevrolet. Hopefully my ops don't see this and come shoot me. I don't have any oppositions, but who knows? I was a very mean person and arrogant, and I still somewhat am at times. I'm not perfect, right? But that's not an excuse to be a douchebag. So with all that being said, have a beautiful night, beautiful day, whatever you want, whatever, whenever you see this. If you watch to the end, God bless you. If you didn't watch to the end, God bless you. May God richly bless you, my beloved. Bye-bye.